Okay, this would be a good time to put some salt. Usually need a little bit of salt. Yeah, just salt kind of brings out all the other flavors too. You kind of know when you don't have salt in the bread or on the food. Could go ahead and put a little bit of butter in the pans that I'm going to use. I won't be using them for a few hours, but I think it'd be alright. Get the pans ready. Yeah, let me get the pans out. I found these long loaf pans at the store not long ago, so I'm going to make use of them. Maybe I'll have enough. I can make long loaves and then kind of divide them up into pieces. Yeah. Let's see, I could just let it sit in the pan. Don't need a lot of butter, do I? And then I can take my pastry brush and kind of brush the bottoms a bit. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Okay. Let's put the oats in there too. Get the oats all distributed everywhere. Yeah. Just where all the flavors and stuff, you know. Flour just kind of, you know, holds it all together and helps it, gives the shape of the bread, you know, so it'll be bread. Well, I mean, it forms part of the bread, but you get what I'm saying. I might add a little more water to this. Loosen it up. You know, I could take this and put sugar and flour in it and just make a bread, make a kind of a fruit cake out of it, couldn't I? Oh, me. The ideas that I think of. Yeah, that butter is moving all around in there. I can see it. Yeah, I'm going to loosen it up a bit with some more water. warm water. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I don't want it to be too thick and dry before I put the flour in there, that's for sure. Anyway, from here on out, I'm just going to follow pretty standard bread making procedure. I'll put flour in it and keep adding flour and stir it in and stir and stir and stir and stir until it has a consistency that I want. You know, it comes together as a ball and where I can handle it with my hands without it sticking to my hands too much. And then I'll do a lot of kneading. I'll knead each portion for about 10 minutes. And then I'll set it aside and let it rise for a couple of hours, and then after it rises a couple of hours, I'll beat on it some more and knead it lightly then, and then I'll put it into the cake pan and bread pan, and let it rise again before I put it in the oven. What I will do, I'll get one batch baking, and then while it bakes, I'll work on the other and let it rise for about an hour. Yeah. I have to kind of time it all out. My oven's a small one, so I can't do 2 loaves at this, or can I? Can I do 2 loaves in there? Maybe I can. Never thought about that. I can. I try my luck at baking 2 loaves at the same time. How about that? Okay. That might affect the heat inside the oven just a bit, but maybe it'll work. I'm going to try it and see. Okay, so we kind of got a nice liquidy, thick liquid mix going on here. There we go. I'm gonna give this a taste. I'm just curious. I taste my bread all along the way to okay, that tastes good. Yeah. Oh, that tastes good. Okay, I'm not going to put any more water in it. I think I've got it like I want it. It's going to take a lot of flour, no doubt. But like I said, it's going to be a bit. I'll probably end up having to pour half of this into another bowl and work on it a half at a time. That's cool. This is Saturday, by the way. It's about 8:30 in the evening right now. So obviously I'm not going to bed early. I've got all night. And it's kind of chilly outside, so the oven will kind of get the heat going, and then the smell of the bread's going to drive everybody crazy. Oh me. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and split this in half and work on it. That looks like about half, maybe. Maybe. Maybe not quite half. There we go. I think that's about right. Okay. Yeah, I don't want all this to get all, well, look for an excuse to taste it and wash my hands again. Okay. I'll put a little flour in both of them, get that yeast pushing out some air, get it going. All that fruit and nuts and stuff may have, has made it a little heavy, and it's just give this one a light stir, just to kind of almost set it aside. Just give it a little stir and let that yeast work on it a bit. There we go. I like to, each addition of flour, I like to get it mixed in there very well. And of course it thickens up and getting harder to stir, and eventually I'm going to have to use my hands. I'm going to put some more white flour in here. I went to the store and I bought some. Yeah. And I'm going to mix it up with this buckwheat flour. I don't want it to be all buckwheat flour in the bread. Can't find whole wheat flour here, the brown kind. I can't find it. I've looked, I've asked, no luck. But I've noticed on some of the flour packaging here, a few of them they print English on them, and some will say, well, this one's good for cookies, this one's good for bread, and this one's good for other things. So I mean, some Korean food products, they are made with flour. Anyway, so that kind of gives me a clue that it might be a soft wheat, or a wheat that's a little more whole grainish, like, you know, a little more apt for bread making. But I really couldn't tell you for sure. Okay, alright, so let's just put a spoonful in here. I'm not going to count the spoons. You can do that if you want. And give me a clue how much I might need in that other bowl.